Man United fans were really looking forward to welcoming at least one good defender and Jadon Sancho this summer. The latter has been a long-term target, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had been chasing the youngster for quite a while. Sadly though, there is this person at the club who simply cannot get deals over the line. This person's been involved in player recruitment long enough to understand how things work, but he's been unable to really learn anything. Anyway, Ed Woodward thought that perhaps Man United could do with a striker as well. So they just went about to get themselves a striker who was a free agent for a long time and is now on the verge of joining a team he would never have entertained the idea of playing for a few years ago. Edinson Cavani has been a free agent for quite a while, ever since his contract at Paris Saint-Germain expired. The Uruguayan spent 7 glorious years of his career at Parc des Princes and scored a lot of goals. According to multiple sources, Man United are on the verge of signing the 33-year-old striker and have offered him a 1-year deal with the option of another year. United fans and even the neutrals agreed that the club needed a defender above anything else. However, Woodward has other ideas. Cavani's imminent arrival is not necessarily a bad thing, but the timing could have been better. Way better. Throughout the transfer window, Man United have been going back and forth with Borussia Dortmund over the signing of Jadon Sancho. Woodward has shown his thrifty side once again by trying to lowball the Germans, who have, to their credit, not buckled under pressure. In fact, the player himself has not shown any signs of a player who's sick and tired of constant speculation around his future and has his head turned. Maybe United will end up signing the player. I mean, they did take their sweet time to bring Harry Maguire from Leicester City last summer and were rather forced to get the deal done for Bruno Fernandes. Perhaps something similar is about to happen. Who knows? We're sure United themselves have no idea what tomorrow could look like for them. They're that bad at signing new players. Want to know how we never miss a match? With Fubo TV, you can stream any game, anytime, anywhere. Use our link in the description to start for free and watch your favourite teams live. So, coming back to Cavani, it's definitely an exciting and intriguing transfer, and will add a lot of depth and, most importantly, world-class experience in the squad. Cavani's a seasoned veteran. He was one of the most lethal strikers on the planet for a good part of 10 years, first at Serie A side Napoli and then at PSG. While he may no longer be able to command tons of starting opportunities, Cavani can definitely be a great option to come off the bench and make an instant impact. United do lack physicality up front, and the veteran striker would bring that in. However, this transfer does make us wonder why it took Man United the dying embers of the transfer market to get the deal done. I mean, most clubs are good at identifying their targets quickly, know what they want, and have budgets allocated for things like these. If United were really interested in signing Cavani, they could have got that done in June when his contract expired. However, it appears that it was Cavani who decided to say yes to United, once he figured out that no other club is showing concrete interest in him. The Uruguay international was actually keen on moving to Atletico Madrid, but Diego Simeone's side had other options too, and once Luis Suarez was made available, they snapped him up from Barcelona. Benfica were also reportedly interested in the player, but Cavani's wage demands proved to be a stumbling block. Eventually, once Cavani realised that there is no big team in Europe willing to take him, he had no other option. We're sure that the striker would have been thanking the gods when he got a call from Ed Woodward. This was a move that was never on the cards but is now almost done. But then again, this is a bit of a panic buy, because if United really had a plan, they wouldn't be signing Cavani out of nowhere. Nonetheless, it is what it is. Cavani is set to become Man United's latest striker and would prove to be a far better option than Odion Ayalu. The Nigerian's form has vanished into thin air in the last few months, and to be fair, he hasn't been given enough chances to begin with. The former Watford man is set to return to his parent club Shanghai Shenhua next year, so having Cavani would give at least a small chance for the club of scoring goals at the death. Former fullback Gary Neville has been very critical of how things are being done by those wielding all the power at Old Trafford. Manchester United came out of lockdown with class. They then finished third in the league. There was then a couple of months before the start of the season where I believe they grabbed defeat from victory when they didn't strengthen, he said. There is definitely an element of thrill to this signing and even intrigue and excitement. Over the last 5 or 10 years, Cavani's been one of the greatest strikers in Europe. You'd hope for him to come to England and deliver the goods. He's done that where he's gone before. United do need a striker badly. Anthony Martial has been played as a number 9, but the Frenchman doesn't really have the exact skill set to become accustomed to this position. Cavani can be a great number 9. He's a monster when it comes to aerial ability, he has great physical prowess and can hold off defenders at ease. So what does Cavani bring to Manchester United? Cavani has always been a prolific striker wherever he's gone. Unlike your average striker who stays between the centre-backs and doesn't move from his original position, Cavani is very mobile. He prefers to move towards the right, which creates confusion within the defensive ranks. This also allows the right winger to move into a central role and receive the ball between the lines. If you followed Cavani's career, you'd notice that he's very intelligent in the sense that he's aware of his teammates' attributes and makes his movements based on that. For example, at PSG, Cavani would regularly shift towards the right without taking the right winger's position. That allowed Kylian Mbappe to catch defences off guard by making runs in behind the defence. The biggest reason why Cavani's been so successful in Italy and France is due to his ability to make crosses into the box count. The veteran striker is very aggressive in his runs and, due to his frame, naturally attracts the attention of defenders. Once a cross is being put in, Cavani will drag a defender or two out of position, leaving one of his teammates to finish things off. In the last calendar year, Cavani boasted an XG of 5.2 after crosses, from which he scored 4 goals. This particular rate is very high for any striker and tells us how good the striker is when it comes to heading the ball. In Ligue 1, Cavani averaged 7.25 touches inside the penalty area, which is a very high number. Of course, these numbers are bound to drop considerably in the Premier League, but you can see that the Uruguay international's confidence increases the closer he gets to the goal. This also points towards his great composure. Cavani has great ball control and is really good at shielding the ball inside the penalty area. One of the most eye-catching things about Cavani's game is that he has a very high defensive work rate. The 33-year-old is a hard-working player and has a strong work ethic. He doesn't mind rolling up his sleeves and putting in the grunt work. He's always willing to defend and often moves out of the advanced role to help the team defend. In fact, it wouldn't surprise us to see Cavani covering players in defensive positions. He's done that a lot in France. Having such a striker who's always willing to help out in defence would definitely help Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side press further up the pitch. United haven't showcased great pressing ability this season because Anthony Martial isn't a great presser, but this could all change if Cavani is spearheading the attack. The striker enjoys closing down defenders and goalkeepers, which forces them into kicking the ball away from danger because they never have enough time to pick out a teammate. Pressing intensity always starts from the one who's leading the attack, and Manchester United would definitely have that luxury with Cavani on the field. However, if there's one issue that's concerning, it's that Edinson Cavani has not played a lot of games in the last 12 months. Due to the arrival of Mauro Icardi from Inter Milan, Cavani was confined to the bench and didn't really get a lot of minutes. This is why his form was impacted and he struggled for goals. There was a time when Cavani was quick off the blocks and had great dribbling skills as well. However, at the age of 33, the Uruguayan has lost his pace a bit, and due to a loss of agility, he could potentially slow down attacking moves. After losing 6-1 at home to Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester United are in a very bad place. Their defence was utterly shambolic and the attack seemed toothless. Harry Maguire had a shocking game alongside Eric Bailly, while Luke Shaw is clearly not good enough to be starting games week in, week out. His team's defensive mistakes are going to cost them, and the club's fall guy, aka Solskjaer, has a lot of work to do. By the time this video gets published, the transfer window might be over, so as things stand, Manchester United are heading towards yet another poor campaign. While signing Cavani is definitely an important piece of business, it was never a priority. The malaise at United is no cure at present, and even if Cavani does end up proving himself to be a timeless striker, it might not be enough. The game against Tottenham was a rude awakening for pretty much everyone linked with the club. While Anthony Martial's red card did have a bearing on things, the way the team defended was absolutely shocking. Manchester United players seem to have given up all hope and simply rolled over. Solskjaer's tactics would definitely be questioned, but there's only so much you can teach your players. The club needed a good transfer window to reduce the gulf in quality between Manchester City and Liverpool. However, Ed Woodward and company have once again done a great disservice to yet another manager and let him take the fall for their mistakes, or as Patrice Evra so eloquently put, arrogance. Cavani has been an important player for every team he's played for. He's a hard-working striker who would never give up. While it might take him some time to adjust to a different league, it'll be really interesting to see if Solskjaer is able to come up with a plan to get the best out of a player who still has a few good years of European football left in him.